Wow, this is a full house. I wasn't expecting. I thought it would be like 10 people, but now I really got to amp it up. So thanks for showing up today, and it's fantastic to see Vancouver live with tech. So I'm going to try to kind of go through these slides a little bit. They're pretty fun, hopefully. So how to build a successful self-funded startup. Yes, this is a unicorn, right? So not a lot of companies start up without funding and actually survive. So I'm going to go through that, and it's not an easy task. Just start doing. That's the first thing. All right. So really, bottom line, when I started to wrap up with the Vancouver 2010 Winter Olympics, I actually realized that I wanted to start my own company. So after lots of thinking and everything else, the best thing I ever did was just start doing. And to do that, I know that there's certainly 10 steps for doing this thing, and so I've tried to shorten down 6 years into 10 basic slides, which we're going to try to do in 5 minutes. So I know I couldn't do it alone, so I had to find the right partner. So finding a partner is always interesting. The main thing that you want to try to do is find somebody who is smarter than you, so keep you on your toes. You certainly wanted to find somebody who is different than you, so they can kind of fill the gaps where you're weak. And you want somebody who works harder than you, because then at least at that point, they'll keep you challenged every day. So a very hard person to find, but luckily enough, I knew Dmitry Kristanov, who became my partner, and he was working at the Accenture as a database architect at the time. And I asked him one simple question: do you really want to be a database plumber for the rest of your life? And history, he realized that there's something bigger. So we were lucky enough to know a lot of different people in our lifetime, and so we were able to tap into our network. From everything from finding a hosting site for free, servers, and even a place to work in part-time. But as we started to put the ideas into effect, we really started to figure out, how do we get this product out? And you just got to start shipping. So if you take a look at Google and Amazon, when they originally launched, where they are today, they're just hugely, dramatically different. And so from that perspective, we started to get our product out. And this is really, there's always a plan, and then there's the reality. The reality is that everything is going to be coming at you. Everything from where you're going to get dollars to get certain developers, and also getting the product out and getting a lot of people trying it out. But in the end, it's trying to be focused and taking a look at one path and trying it all out and see it to the end. This is kind of interesting. So when we started to roll out our product, I was really afraid of talking to big companies, because we were a small company. We were literally 3 people at the time. And you know what? Everybody wants innovation, even Fortune 500 companies. So they want partners. They want to try new things. And so we started to go out and start dealing with a lot of different larger companies. And I think the best moment that I ever remember was when Facebook actually introduced us to Universal Music. That's when I realized we're not a small company anymore. So as we started to grow, hiring is so crucial. Every person you bring into the company is a balancing act. They change the flavor of your whole company. So culture is so important, and it needs to be intact. So for us, we didn't hire in hordes of amount of people. We went one at a time, and we brought in the right people that actually would fit the right model for the working space. In-house. So this is interesting. There's a lot of outsourcing. So we never, Dmitry and I believed that we had to work in a small space, so we can kind of work together a little bit smarter. But we also didn't outsource. We didn't hire any consultants. We didn't go through any of these things. We hired the right people. Even though we hired slowly, we found the right people at the right time, and we brought them in. And having a small space that you work in, the water cooler effect is amazing, because you actually share ideas much, much quickly, and we were able to innovate in such a much rapid pace compared to a company that was like 100 people. Now this one, marketing. We did this really poorly. So for the first 2 years, we basically were busy building, and we never told our story, right? And so nothing worse in the world, you're building all this great stuff, but no one's actually out there know that you're actually building it. So, now that we're in the music and the sports industry, we're always finding moments in those particular industries to fit in and to find our moments to be a groundhog. I mean, groundhog is really not that interesting, right? But except for a specific day of the year, everybody wants to know what the hell this groundhog is going to do. So find those groundhog moments for your business, and there's a lot of them. Now, this was hard. So when you're a small company, you're working hard, you've got a product line that you're rolling out 4 months in, and you realize, well, this just sucks, right? Like, it's not going to go anywhere. Now, if you're self-funded, that's a lot of money, time, and you can't make that decision on your own, but really remember the 3 Ps, right? Persistence, perseverance, and don't forget pivot. So for us, we had many pivotal moments in our business where we took good ideas, implemented them, realized they were actually not so good, but other components of it, we took it out and made better products. So today, we have Tradable Bits that we're actually managing, everything from Live Nation, AG, basically the 3 major companies in North America that handles all the promotions is all on our platform. Sports, major pro sports are actually using our platform. And certainly companies like Lush and Lululemon also use our products. So that's it. That's all I had for my 10. Any questions?
Any questions? Oh, perfect. So we're going to keep it to 3 questions. Raise your hands quickly and you'll get picked. The rest of them you can tweet Darshan, right, Darshan?
Sure.
Hi, thanks, Darshan. So how big now is your company?
We are adding 3 more people, so we're going to be a total of 13, 14 people by the time we're the end of this year.
13 heavy people, huh?
But that's it, don't be shocked, right? So here, think about it. Let's see, Instagram, 13 people bought for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right? So don't count yourself short. Don't be afraid of Goliath, right?
Thank you.
And they have great offices. Where are you guys, in the Westin?
Yeah. So we have a view of the
They're in the
Stanley Park.
Westin Hotel. Like, come on.
I'm sorry, but there was no slide for funding. Did you pay? Did you work for free, like for a couple of years?
That's a great question. Yeah. So for the first year, Dimitri and I consulted. So he was still consulting, and I was consulting as well, as we built out the product. So that's how we paid ourselves. Because being the age we are, we have family, and so we have expenses to deal with. But after we realized how to make money, that's when we said goodbye to our consulting gigs and came in and so forth. But certainly, if you're going to start something, you got to have at least 1 year of salary or to feed yourself.
Anyone else? Perfect. It's a fantastic platform. Oh, there's one over there. Okay, we're going to make 2 more questions then.
Hi, I was just wondering if, did you guys have an end goal in mind when you started this business?
No.
No, you didn't have a goal. It just started and it's growing.
No, I mean, we had to be honest, when we originally came up with the idea of what we wanted to build, it was a pet project, right? So Tradable Bits actually came from that name. So we originally wanted to learn about social media because it was just a big thing that was just happening. And so we're just like, okay, well, we have a database architect, we have an engineer on one side, and we're like, we don't know anything about social. So we opened it up for free, and within the first year, we realized that there was magic happening. We had 24.5 million monthly active users on the platform, and that's when the lights turned on. And then we realized, oh, we can make money out of this.
Last question. I was coming to you. That's okay. I have long legs.
Can you give us an example of an idea you killed and why?
Sure, I have a great idea. So I have many. So one that we had was, so after 2011, we had so many different people on the platform that I didn't really know what people were doing. And then plus also I was on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it, all multiple social networks. And so I had an idea. I said, I want to build a search engine for myself, for me, that was built specifically for me, and open it up and everybody will have their own personal search engine. And so we rolled out for 3.5 months. We built it and we actually rolled it out. And within the first week, we had about 1,500 subscribers. And we realized the amount of data it consumed was magical. It was like, whoa, that's a lot of money. And so we realized that this is a great idea from finding, imagine you can connect and you can see all your social connections, anything you ever said on the planet, and it'll be just on a fingerprint and just type it out. So we realized that we needed funding for doing that. And we didn't have the time, we didn't, because everything was moving so fast. However, what came out of that was that there was something magical. It was like, can we take all this information but make it plan for businesses? And so we rolled out a product called Stream. And what it was basically a business that would put a pinnacle point in sand and say, tell me everything that's happening about my business. So it was the same concept, except now it's applied on a business. And they were willing to pay to collect data, where on a personal note, unless, we had another idea, kill my axe, axe my ex. I think it was like, so if you, there's connotations.
Was that from Dimitri?
So lots of different ideas came through, but you got to be smart about killing certain things, but you learn from it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Darshan. A round of applause.